What's up everyone, it's Captain Magnus, and today I'm going to show you the dilemma that I've encountered while making bases in Ark Survival Ascended. Before I get started, I wanted to say that this is my favorite game, and I think that the game looks amazing, and it has many new features that improve the gameplay. Except this following one, which is the wireless generators. So they took out the aspect wires of the game, and made the generators more like mini tech generators. So which at first, that sounded great. Me being a console player, I did not get to try it until recently on my PC. So I was working on an updated starter base locations video, and I decided to power up a base, and it was this small to medium sized base, and I soon realized that it wasn't letting me place the third generator on the right side. So I took a photo and sent out a tweet as any other millennial would. After looking around, I found the other generator, and it was across the valley on another mountain. So when I first noticed that it was the nearest turret tower that I had set up, and it's right underneath that hatch frame right there. But as you can see, the distance from this generator to that one is pretty large. In fact, I was even thinking about adding more turret towers in between, as you can see in the crosses there. So on this side, it doesn't even let me place it, even hugging the wall. So after realizing what this could potentially do to official PvP, in my head I completely ruled out the possibility of any small to medium sized tribes surviving, unless they can defend a base with just 3 generators. Then I went to test it out on a large base location, and I also realized that it would not let me place the generators where I would place the towers to properly defend the location. So as you can see here, I placed X's with the foundations of where I would place towers to properly defend this location. Got one there, one towards the middle, and of course some of the ones on the outside. Everything was okay, placing the generators along the edge there, until I reached up about over here, because these 3 right here, it would have let me place them. So aside from all of that, you would still need to have internal towers. So I placed about 3 on this side here, these 3. And I'm sure that it won't let me place generators because of the ones on the outside. So that's that. So aside from all of that, I decided to do some sort of testing. So for example, maybe they want us to have just 1 turret tower per area. So even though it's not overlooking the edges where people could just sit down here and just shoot rockets up into the base, maybe they want us to have taller towers in the middle. So I set this up, and I basically lined them up just within the range of the generators, so that this could maximize the amount of things powered in the area. And this is sort of what I got. So then, so bases of course cover a large area. So I was thinking that, oh, maybe if I set some off on the side, like what's the earliest that I could put some on the sides here? What would be the next layer of the fence that I can set up? So I set these up. This is the earliest I could put it in here. So for example, I couldn't set one right there. This is the earliest I could place down the generator in this foundation. And I counted the foundations from this range to all the way over here, and it's about 27 foundations. Some of them it cuts them in half, like this one, and then the other one also cuts it in half. So I'd say it's about roughly 27 foundations from that generator to this one. So you could technically place like a turret, like right here, and it'd be powered, and also right here. But it is not optimal. Basically, just making bases with the bare minimum. Like literally, like somebody could just land like right here in the middle of your base, because you're not this. It won't let me place one here. So it is what it is. And for some reason, so I placed these 2. It allowed me to place this one right there, but then it wouldn't let me place another one till all the way down there. So literally, this is the earliest I could put one in this row. So right there, it wouldn't let me place it, and then of course where it is right there, it did allow me to place it. And I think I counted it was about 18 foundations from there to there. So it's just creating more gaps. And I think it's because of the ones up here. So I believe that it won't let me place any in the middle. I mean, we could try it out. There you go. So you can't place any in the middle. So basically, you would have to keep going in a straight line in that direction with the foundations, and maybe it'll let me place one further down, and vice versa here. But this is not realistic. This doesn't help with the base locations. Not every location is gonna be as wide and as big as this one. So for smaller places, you're only gonna be able to have about 3 turret towers and maybe hopefully power your main base, because even this large one, it's barely letting me do what I want to do. It's leaving so many gaps in between where the area could get raided. So I started to think about the reason why they did that, and maybe I thought that maybe it causes the game to crash, or it's something that is just overpowered. But then I figured, oh, let me see, maybe the tech generators have any sort of restrictions on them, and they really don't. You can place as many as you want. They have a way bigger range too. They can cover. So I don't see the point here. Basically, people with tech get to make whatever bases that they want, and people with gas generators don't. So I then tested out the simple base location you see here. I evened out the base by creating a layout above it so that we could just account for the length and the width, but not the height. I messed around with it for a while, and this is the best that I could do. So this is the base right here. Basically just one way up into the base, one side that people would just walk up to the base. And so I placed the turrets on the side here, well, what would be a turret tower, and then on the other side too, and it wouldn't let me place one in the middle after I placed one like right over here. So what I did was I started here, and I started working my way around, and I figured that would probably be the best way to place the generators and maybe fool them into thinking that I could place more. But no, it still didn't let me finish it. So basically cover one side, then the other side, and then the middle is left exposed. So anybody could just start rocketing these right here and just make their way into the base. In the middle, I made sort of a crafting station mock-up, and then back here, the large square rectangle area here is a mock-up of where the base would be. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you do need to put turrets on your main base so people don't just drop from above and rocket into your base. So, this is literally the best I come up with. This whole flank side over here is exposed. Can't place a generator here. Okay. Nowhere here you can't place a single generator. And of course, this is putting the generator at the edge of your base. So this is now where you want to place them anyways. But this is literally the furthest that I could go from the other ones. So I can't go any further than this. So basically this cancels out everything in the middle. You can't, that means that if I can't place it here, that means I can't place it anywhere in the middle. So this is not okay. So this whole location right here is messed up. You can't really build on it unless you have tech generators. So here we are again, another version of Ark where people will be forced to live in caves in official PvP, since living above already had disadvantages, and now the developers extinguished the little bit of hope I had left for above ground bases to make a return. There's so many benefits to living in a cave for PvP. It saves you element, it forces people to go through every single layer of defense you have placed, and also your teams won't get sniped. I'm very surprised that I haven't heard this from any of the PC players. I have seen a lot of them just build in open fields and rafts. It's crazy to me how a game that gets advertised by encouraging everyone to build above ground adds something like this to the game. I did look at every trailer they have released and confirmed that every base in every trailer is above ground. So why is it that they instead cater to people living in caves? In fact, it makes it harder for people to live outside caves, as you have seen in this video. So I'm going to continue to look at this problem and see if I can find a way around it. The only solution that I can think of is to cover the gaps with Plan X, or use tech generators. But if you already have tech generators, it means you must be close to getting teleporters. So at that point, you might as well just live in a cave. Well, that's it for this video. Just comment below if you have any questions or solutions. I'm all ears. Until next time.